Hello. Welcome to Monday Motivation. Today we're going to talk about finding calm when the season feels heavy. So welcome. I'm so glad you're here today. We're stepping into the holiday season, and that carries a lot of weight. It's supposed to be a magical time of year, but for many of us, especially women, um, especially when we're healing from a year that demanded more than we ever expected, this time of year can feel complicated. We're told the holidays should be magical, cheerful, picture perfect. But the truth, the holidays often stir old wounds, pressure, comparison, perhaps, emotional triggers. Those are things we didn't plan for. And that's where you are right now. You're not alone if that's what you're feeling. Today, we're going to talk openly about holiday expectations, emotional triggers, and how to protect your peace without guilt. If we haven't met before, my name is Terry Stirk. I am a wellness coach and an author. I serve women like you who have experienced challenging seasons, and this could be one of them. So let's try to make sure it doesn't happen that way for you or me. Let's talk about this season and find calm and peace among all the glitter and the lights. So why do holidays feel heavy when it's such a wonderful time of year? We all carry stories. Yes, family history, grief, strained relationships, memories that once felt warm, but perhaps bittersweet. Holidays tend to bring all of that to the surface. There's also something about tradition. Many of us grew up holding on to images of what the holidays should look like. A family gathered peacefully, coming home for the holidays, a beautifully set table, laughter filling the room, music, beautiful lights, everything. Traditions matter and they're meaningful. But when life changes, those old expectations can start to press on in tender places, vulnerable places. You may notice feeling overwhelmed before a gathering, your own or going to someone else's house, anxiety when plans begin stacking up one on top of the other, guilt for not doing things like you used to, or choosing not to do something that you would have normally done. Loneliness, even when you're surrounded by people, or grief that surfaces out of nowhere. But we are all survivors of something. And many of us are survivors of many things. So these responses that I just went through are not signs of a weakness. They are signs that you've lived and that you're carrying guilt or ideas of perfection, and you're still healing. So understanding emotional triggers. First of all, triggers are not our enemy. They're simply signals. They're reminders pointing toward areas where your heart is still healing, perhaps, still mending. A familiar smell, a song, a family dynamic, a comment, or even the pressure to be festive can stir emotions that you weren't expecting. And during the holidays, these triggers multiply. They multiply because you already got a full plate. And now you have all this other holiday stuff piled on top of everything you already have. So here's the truth. You don't need to be ashamed of the triggers. You don't need to power through them. You don't need to explain them to anyone who hasn't walked in your shoes. A trigger is your body whispering, slow down. Something here needs care. Something needs tended to. So just stop and pause and figure out, why am I feeling this way? I bet you'll know why. When you view triggers through that lens, it's a new perspective. But viewing it as information instead of failure, then everything shifts. So letting go of unrealistic holiday expectations is how we can combat feelings of failure or stress or overwhelm. Many of us hold on to the old picture of the holidays because it feels safe and familiar. Maybe it's all we know because it's how we grew up. We're rooted in how things have always been done. Healing asks something different of us. It invites us to protect our peace, even if it means breaking old patterns. I recall the holidays after my family lost our mom. That's a hard time for any family. The first holiday. I wanted to keep mom's traditions going for my dad. Since I was the only girl with 3 brothers, I had tried to take the lead for my dad. Family emotions were sky high, and dad didn't even feel pressure to keep all mom's traditions going strong. Or maybe he did, now that I think about it. But by the second year, it was time to give up all that work, all that pressure. Or perhaps you're trying to create traditions for your own children or grandchildren. Maybe you have married children and now you have to create new traditions with another family. But you just don't feel that holiday spirit. So let's release some of that pressure and talk about a few expectations worth releasing. First is the expectation that you need to be cheerful. It's okay if this season feels mixed. Joy one moment, heaviness the next. That's part of being human. The expectations to please everyone is another one to think about. Women often carry emotional labor over the holidays. We like to honor tradition without sacrificing anything that has come before us. But let's think about not sacrificing our own well-being too. The expectation to recreate the past is one that I fell into. If life has changed, relationships, health, family structure, all of these make changes to your holidays that, and part of it will just be a natural change. That isn't failure. It's just life. It's what happens as our life goes on. The fourth one is the expectation to carry more than you even have capacity for. You have the right to decline an invitation or simplify your own gatherings or do things differently this year. Punt the traditions and start fresh. Simplifying your life. Ooh, that sounds appealing. Your worth has never been tied to how perfectly you pull off a holiday. So how do we navigate these holiday triggers with care and grace? Let's look at practical ways to walk through the season with steadiness and, again, grace for you and for others. So let's prepare our hearts ahead of time. Ask yourself, what tends to weigh on me this time of year? I can think of a few things. Knowing your emotional landscape helps you stay grounded when triggers arise. So set clear kind boundaries. Protect your energy. Attend to what feels meaningful, not what feels obligatory. A simple phrase that can help you set a barrier, a boundary, I should say. I love you so much, but I must keep things simple this year. It's respectful and it honors your healing. You don't have to answer questions about your decision. It's okay. And the people who care about you will understand that. Let's create a plan for emotional breaks. If you're at an event and feel overwhelmed, step outside and breathe that beautiful, cool air. Breathe deeply. Clear your brain. Take a short walk. Small pauses will reset your nervous system and refresh you to carry on. The fourth is to keep expectations light. That's that simple word I mentioned earlier. You don't have to host the biggest dinner on the block. You don't have to decorate every corner of your house. And you don't have to say yes to every invitation you get. Small, meaningful moments often carry more peace than busy, overfilled schedules. Lean on steady supports. Call up a trusted friend, someone you can talk to about how you're feeling about these traditions. Take a look at a quiet devotional. Read it, take it to heart, meditate or pray. Ask for help to get through this day and to lighten your load. Surrender your worries. You were never meant to walk through this alone. So seek out a support group or, again, trusted friends who can help. As you move through this holiday season, remember this: healing changes you. It will change your expectation, and it changes the way you experience things, including the holidays. You're not failing if this season feels heavy. You're not broken if certain traditions bring more pain than joy. You're simply human, navigating life with courage and grace. Give yourself permission to honor where you are now, not where you think you should be. Your peace matters. Your healing matters. And you deserve a beautiful holiday too, one that reflects your peace and grace and calm. Remember the reason for the season. Take time for yourself and give yourself and others grace, especially if your family has experienced significant change. Thank you for taking time with me today. I hope you found this video live helpful. There's some pointers that I think could help ease the stress of your holiday. If this message encouraged you, share it with other women who may need the same reminder today. We're in this together. I'm cheering you on.